Good morning. Welcome back. This is Good Morning Kenya, and the hashtag we're using is Good Morning Kenya at KBC Channel 1. You also join in the conversation, and we're about to have an interesting one. So if you're a business person, this is a good conversation for you. And we are joined by Mr. Bernard Muiru. Am I getting the name right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so who is in digital marketing and partnership manager at Africa 118. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much for having me. And hi, our viewers. And my name is Bernard Muiru, as you have heard. And we are here for interesting conversation on matters digital.
Sure. So let us start off by telling us what is Africa 118 about?
Yeah, so Africa 118 is a digital marketing agency, and we offer 360 digital marketing services across different businesses categories, ranging from small and middle-sized companies. And we have been in existence for the last 9 years now. And we have presence in different markets, Kenya, first country, we have Uganda, we have Tanzania, we have Rwanda, we have Ethiopia. And so far so good. We have helped over 1 million SMEs so far get online and be able to push their brand awareness across different platforms. Yeah.
Wow, that's some great stuff there. And there's something that I read on your website. It said having a digital presence today is as important as having a telephone number.
Sure.
So tell us about the importance of being in the digital space and about the landscape in Kenya, how we have embraced the digital space.
Yeah, I think the first thing for any business that wants to get online, the first thing is just to make sure that they have a Google business profile, which we have under the partnership we have with Google, and we have been able to list over 1 million businesses so far, about 1.3, and this year we are aiming at get it to 1 million, another 1 million. That will make it 2.3 businesses that will bring online in terms of maps, or rather what we're calling Google Business Profile. Over and above, we have different other platforms that we leverage on, like Google Ads, we have Facebook ads, we have Instagram ads, LinkedIn, and all other digital platforms. So I think the SMEs, or rather the entrepreneurs, have put much weight in terms of how they can be able to reach more customers and at the comfort of their seats. Because previously, in terms of the traditional media, the billboards and all that, it's not something that you can be able to account in terms of how many people have seen such billboards. But in digital, it's something that you can be able to get insight in terms of how many people have visited you, how many people have interacted with your businesses. And of course, you're able to measure the return on investment on daily basis and monthly basis. So it's something that has taken shape, and the future is digital.
Okay, and clearly the future is digital, and people are moving to the digital space. Even the media is moving to the digital space. We have seen the other day Switch TV going online completely. And it's working. So what can you tell to someone who's a farmer and doesn't know about the digital space? So how do I get there? Why do I need it in the first place?
Yeah, so the good thing with Africa 118 is that we have been able to train SMEs and all other businesses on how they can be able to take up the online platforms to grow their businesses. And we have done that across Africa. And it's a training that continues to grow in terms of numbers. And we always do this. Even recently at the Made in Kenya extravaganza that happened last week, Thursday and Friday, we were live there at KICC, just making steps on how we can be able to train these SMEs. And we have trained, I think, over 500,000 so far, businesses. And this is something that we continue to do. And it's also one of our core business vertical, training in digital marketing and how they can be able to get online. And over and above that, we are able to give a Google Business Profile, which we do for free on behalf of Google. So that's a starting point. And then now we can move on to other kind of platforms which are paid. But the first thing is just to make sure that we give what can be able to raise them up from the feet immediately, which is Google Business Profile, kind of a map in terms of maybe they have a store or maybe a farm where maybe they're selling out maybe some farm produce. So I think it's something that's very vital for any SME out there, just to take it up, and the training we offer is absolutely free. They just need to register with us.
So how do they get you to, if they want to register?
Yeah, they can just go to our website and of course fill in our contact form, and we'll be able to to contact them after. But we majorly focus on groups. So if there may be chairman, chair ladies for such groups, they can be able to get in touch with us and we can arrange a class on that. Yeah.
Okay, and so now how do they identify? Most people want to get into the digital marketing space and digital space rather, and they want to have a digital marketer and they approach some companies and they're defrauded. So how do they know this is a legit? How do they get to that?
Yeah, so we have seen that when we have had such cases happening. But the good thing with us is that we are a trusted marketing agency. You look at the partnerships portfolio that we have.
Yeah.
The first one is Google. We have been with them for the last 3-4 years. We have Safaricom, we have NORAD project that we are running with. Those are companies that have put trust in us. Having Google is something that we are proud of. And such company, if you see us working with such companies, we are trustworthy and we do our work and we do deliver and make sure that the customers get the value for their money or there's return on investment in terms of media spend if they come to us. And our products or rather our services are quite affordable. It's because we are SME passionate. We want to grow with them from scratch, and then we can grow together and of course be able now to aim for a higher goal in terms of growth for the company over time. And we like having these SMEs stay with us for a long time, like 2, 3, 4 years, and that's what we are doing with NORAD. We are supporting SMEs for 3 years because we know marketing is consistency. You have to be there for 1 year, 2, 3 years for you to make an impact out there as a business. Yeah.
So what are the challenges facing SMEs?
There are different challenges. Of course, we have seen what has happened last year with COVID. Business are just rising up recently. And the other thing is finances, in terms of how they can be able to pay their employees and also ensure the company is running in terms of operations. And of course, also getting skilled professionals to run their businesses. And that's why we bridge the gap in terms of marketing. There's a difference of having an internal marketing team and having an agency do that. In terms of an agency, there are different kind of minds that come together in terms of creativity, and they merge in terms of coming up with unique ideas on how they can be able to raise your brand. So skilled professionals, finances, and of course COVID that comes and goes, and also the support from the government. I know government has done enough in terms of supporting SMEs, and also what we are doing with other partners like NORAD, Google, who are trying just to support SMEs for free for the start, and then they can be able now to plug in their marketing budget maybe later in the future. So those are some of the challenges, but we as Africa 118, we are able to bridge that gap and be able to support them with free marketing and free setup of Google Business Profile and other platforms.
Okay, and is there a challenge on SMEs in Africa getting to the global space, being identified, being able to trade and do their businesses and, you know, in an international space?
So digital breaks the boundaries because you're able now to target different kinds of markets across Africa and even other continents. And that's the power of digital, and that's why that's the future. Because if you're selling your products, we have seen with e-commerce sites, you can be able to upload your products from here in Kenya, upload them on Amazon, upload them on eBay, and be able to sell from the comfort of your seat. So able to ship, and that's what is helping these SMEs and businesses be able now to trade internationally and even across borders. So we as Africa 118, that's our mandate, to help SMEs reach more customers online.
So this is one, we can say that is one of the advantages of the digital space. What are some of the others advantages that are there that giving reasons why entrepreneurs should embrace this more, the digital marketing?
Yeah, of course, that would be one. The other one is cost. Online space is quite cost effective in terms of marketing. You're able to control cost. You can be able to say this amount of money that I want to use per day, this amount of money that I want to use per month. Unlike the traditional media where the billboard you have to be charged per month. Whereas when digital you can say I want to be online this week. I want to be online maybe Monday to Friday, and then I can switch off. Maybe my hotel and I don't open on Saturdays, or maybe I don't open on Sundays.
Okay.
And then over and above that is in terms of languages. You're able to reach people on different languages, because all these digital platforms, they support French, they support Spanish and all that, different languages. So you're able to reach a wider audience. The other thing is that you're able to target even per gender. You're able to target males if your products are just targeting males. So it's targetability. You're able to target by gender and by interest. Maybe you want to target the people, maybe you're selling a book on maybe digital marketing. So you can only say, I only want to target the people in business, or maybe the people who are in trading. So those are some of the advantages of being online. Targetability, cost effective, and of course no demographic boundaries in terms of targeting.
Okay, so we'll take a short break and then we get back to that, because also on your website you said one of the fundamentals in digital marketing is be where your audience is. Exactly. And now the audience is online. Yeah. So we'll get much more into detail. So we take a short break and we'll be right back. Stick with us. Welcome back. We still continue with our conversation on growth in the digital space, and we have our guest Bernard to help dissect this. So before we went on break, I gave the statement. One of the fundamentals of digital marketing is be where your audience is, and with the current situation, our audience, most audience for SMEs is online. How true is this statistic?
Yeah, so there's a saying that put your money where the mouth is. And we agree on that, we as an agency, because one thing that's affecting SMEs is when they invest money in marketing in platforms that don't give value at the end of the day or at the end of the month. And what we begin with in terms of coming up with a strategy in terms of marketing, and being able to now to say this where you're going to start in terms of a launch, this where you're going to go in terms of sustenance for the campaign, and of course at the end of the month or at the end of the week, these are the reporting metrics. These are the KPIs that we are going to measure in terms of if your campaign, the campaign was effective. And as I said before, online marketing is measurable. Like you can't lie about numbers. You are able to say that I reached 1 million people, and this 1 million people, there are how many leads so that they come through, or how many calls did I get at the end of the day. So the future is online, and being able to capture or rather reach the right people, what we call meaningful connection. Because what we have seen nowadays is businesses investing money but not getting the meaningful connection they want. Of course, we will report to you 1,000 leads you got, maybe in terms of advertising as KBC, but how many converted as customers? That's the main question.
All right, so talking about that, some people go online, but it's easier said than done. So you've talked about the strategies. So what are these strategies? Because some people are online, but it's not really working for them. So what are the strategies? So
in terms of strategy, it narrows down to the kind of business that you're running. Are you targeting, is it B2B or is it B2C? So because all these platforms, they are also well versed, or they are good for a certain business. We all know LinkedIn is good for B2B, Google is good for B2B, Facebook is good for B2C, and Instagram as well, and the same with Twitter, which is kind of between 50-50 B2C, B2B.
So what do you mean by B2B and B2C?
There's business to business and business to customer. So is your business focusing on business to other businesses? Like for you, KBC, in terms of your own revenue generation, it's B2B. You're targeting business to come and advertise with you. Whereas there's another angle where now it's B2C, kind of a business that is focusing on the customer, an individual customer. So once you narrow that down, then you're able to say, since ours is B2B, then these are the channels to go with. Then if it's B2B, we are going with Google, we are going with LinkedIn, we are going with Twitter. That's where we're going to put our money. So as you said, it's easier said than done, and that has been happening because what businesses are doing, they don't have maybe an agency to talk to them first, develop a strategy, discuss the strategy, and then after that say, this amount of money that you need to put. Because kind of a small kind of a budget may not have that impact. And I usually tell businesses, if you're coming to us for 1 month, 2 months, you may not see that kind of impact. You need to be consistency. Like even you, before you do a bit of shopping, or maybe if you want to buy something and someone is maybe targeting you with the same ads, you're looking maybe for a phone. Before you say that I want this kind of a phone, you'll have seen like 3 or 4 ads. So they keep on repeating themselves.
Yeah.
For you now to go and, of course, convert as a customer.
So you need to take time. You need
to take time, patience, and agree this is the amount of money that's going to target 8 million people. You need data before, and that's what an agency is able to give. We're able to give you data in terms of the customers database that you want to target. Like let's say if you're a Pampers company, or maybe say you're dealing with diapers.
Yeah.
So how many mothers do we have in Kenya? What is the growth? You need such data before you invest in such a marketing.
So about data, now how, maybe for someone who has not approached an agency yet, how do they get data that they need?
Yeah, the other angle of Africa 118 is that we are a data company, and we have this database that is categorized in terms of businesses. Maybe you want data in hospitals, you want data in schools. We have that kind of data that we have built over time, because we deal with SMEs and we have people on the ground that collects this data. So we are able now to make a meaningful kind of a strategy that makes sense, and we're able to tell you, for you to reach the 5,000 schools, if you're targeting schools, maybe you're selling uniforms, this amount of money that you need. Otherwise, people do invest blindly in marketing. At the end of the day, they don't see value, because you didn't even know how many people you want to reach, which region, and which kind of age group that you want to target.
Okay, so bring us in on some of the digital marketing areas, something like the website, and take us through it.
So as an agency, we have different platforms that we leverage on. The first one is Google. And under Google, we have different campaigns. We have the search, we have the display, we have the video, the one that's on the YouTube, and you have shopping ads. On Facebook, again, we have some different types of ads. We have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, and we have Twitter. All those are digital platforms that we are able to leverage in terms of marketing. But before then, an SME, or rather any business that wants to advertise, they'll need different platforms to start them off. The first one is website, which we are offering. On the NORAD program, we have over 3,000 businesses that we are supporting for 3 years. And the first thing we give them is a website. Because for you to get online, you need a website that offers more information. The same way you did research for Africa 118. Yeah. Where you got that information on the website. So
can we say the website is the
starting point?
Is a starting point. This is the basic.
Exactly. And we are so good in that. We have a full department of top skills in terms of UI and UX designs. And we are able to come up with good portfolios for websites, ranging from different categories, the e-commerce websites, and of course static website, just to make sure that the other businesses are able to tell their story on those sites.
Okay, and what about the search engines, the SEO?
Exactly, that's another thing. It's an opposite of the search engine marketing. The Google Ads, Google Ads is opposite of SEO. Okay. So promoting businesses on the online space and being able to rank them organically. And there are 2 types of SEO, the off-page and the on-page SEO. So the on-page is what happens on the website, adding content that is well optimized for SEO. And then off-page is anything that is happening out of the website. As I said before, we are listing businesses on Google Maps, the Google Business Profile, absolutely free, 100%, fully supported by Google. And we have over 1.3 M businesses that we have listed. That's what we call now off-page. If you link that with your website, link that with Facebook, it grows your brand and builds up the brand awareness. Okay, and they say that, the search engine optimization, how to make use of it, that's what lets you get out there, get noticed out there. So how important is it? It's very important, because it's a long-term marketing strategy. It's to save you money in the future. Because let's say you are dealing with, you are in fashion, so you have women dresses, you have men trousers and all that. Those are some of the keywords that you need to target in terms of when you're filling in the content on the website. And we as an agency, Africa 118, we do offer SEO services, but it's something that takes time to rank. You need a minimum of 6 months. Keep adding more content, keep on optimizing your site in terms of site speed, because you also don't want your customers to wait for your site to load for like 3-4 minutes. It needs to be like 60 seconds, and then you are there and you're able to leverage on, or rather you are able to jump from one page to the other, and make sure that your website answers the queries for these customers or what they are looking at. They don't need, there's something called conversion funnel. If I come to your website and for me to place an order, I have to do like 7-10 clicks, then your site is not well optimized. I should be able to enter your website, and in 2, 3, 4 clicks, I'm able to buy what I want. I'm able to find the information that I need.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now moving on to your partnerships, you've mentioned you've partnered with NORAD. I know you've also partnered with Google and some of our telcos like Safaricom. Tell us what you have been able to do with these partnerships.
Yeah, so we have different partners and big brands that have trusted us with helping their SMEs and also working together because they're also supporting the SMEs, but they see it wise to work with Africa 118 because we have the database for that, and we are able to offer these services top notch because we are fully trained with 2022 marketing best practices. So to start with, we have Google. We have partnered with them in terms of digital skills for SMEs. Number 2, we are doing Google Ads for new customers as well as continuing customers. So we're able to set them up on Google Ads. And then there is Google Business Profile. I was telling you about 1.3 million businesses that have come to us through that kind of project. So those are the 3 projects that we are working together on the Google partnership. We have the NORAD, what we call in Norwegian Agency for Development, that are supporting 3,000 businesses. So on that front, we are supporting them with a website, Google Business Profile, kind of a marketing for about 3 years. And then we have Safaricom as well. We have some 2 agents that are sitting with Safaricom call center, where you're able to give them a call and get any information that you need. Because as I said before, we are a data company. So if you want maybe to speak to someone at KBC, you can be able to call kind of a code at Safaricom, and you'll be provided with who that you want to speak with at a particular company. And of course, many others. We have a partnership with MTN in Nigeria. We're supporting over 200 SMEs. We have Standard Bank in South Africa. We are supporting 1,000 SMEs on Google Ads. And so many that keeps on coming up. And the way to go, or rather the agencies to go and meet and be able to run with that project is always Africa 118.
Okay, and you'll get to tell us about how the growth has been since you've started doing this project and supporting the businesses through your partnerships. But before that, tell us about your partnership with Google. We know there's Google Digital Skills. So just to diverse a bit from SMEs, how is this helping youths? Because I know it's free. And why should youths tap into this to get to have digital skills?
Yes, so it's a partnership that started 3-4 years ago. And we started from, of course, the Google Digital Skills, where we train SMEs, we do train youths, campus students as well, on how they can be able to leverage the Google platforms. The Google platforms are so many, actually. There are so many. We have the G Suite, we have YouTube, we have the Google search engine, and of course we have the skill side where they have free courses and all that, and that's what we do just to make sure that we train businesses and individuals on how they can be able to leverage on those products. And so far so good, because one thing is that once you have been able to be trusted with such a global brand, one is operational excellence internally, and of course skill set for the professions that are doing that. I myself, I head the Google Ads project, and I've seen over 2,500 SMEs come on board, and those are all happy customers in terms of how we are helping them get online and be able to reach a certain kind of target audience. So that has come through well, and we are always on the go in terms of trainings, in terms of helping businesses come online on different platforms. And the Google Business Profile is absolutely free. We are paid by Google to do that. In terms of training as well, we are also offering free.
Free training.
exactly free training. And the only thing that, of course, the customer puts in money is on the advertising space, which, of course, we have also something called promo code, a match spend. So we tell a customer you're going to spend 300 USD, we are going to give you 300 USD, or maybe you are going to spend 50 USD, which is around 5,000, and then we're going to give you an additional 5,000.
Okay.
So that's the only cost on the marketing side that you're going to pay. But on the other side of other projects like trainings and Google Business Profile listing, they are absolutely free. And over and above that, there's something called a free one-pager. For the SMEs that don't have a website, we're able to create a free one-pager website that has all the information and the contact information, and that can help you start you off before you, at least you get some funds to put up a professional website.
Okay, and why do we need to have digital skills even if you're not doing a business, if you don't have an SME or anything?
You don't need to. You don't need to, because one, we are offering that as an agency. Number two, we are also training you. So you may not just have to, you don't wait for you to have the know-it-all kind of skills for you to start you off. You can start from somewhere. And the good thing with our marketing services is that once you come on board, we train you as well on the go. Because for us, we also want you to grow as an SME. So at some point, we're going to leave you now to run with it. So we make sure that we, as an agency, we also train you as a small business, which of course may be owned by an individual or two people, so that at the future, maybe after 6, 7 months or 1 year, you're able to run with it. And we have seen biggest customers now doing it themselves, and they are doing it better, because during the reporting, you have to visit our office, you see how we do things. It's just transparency in terms of how we are doing it and being able to train you as well. And of course, when you don't have funds or maybe the business is down, you're able to do it by yourself.
All right. And there's a feeling that African SMEs lack recognition and international support. So what's your view on this?
Yeah, it has been happening, but of course things are changing with the time. There are different international partners that we have partnered with in helping these businesses get online, and even the previous kinds of seed capital that we have seen being invested in the Kenyan SMEs. I'm sure you have seen that for the last 3-4 months. We have seen some seed capital being invested to Africa SMEs. I saw something, we ourselves, we have a platform called TaskMobi. We won some funding from Google. We have others like Quora, we have others like Sendy, we have others like eKitabu, that they have won some capital in terms of starting them off, or rather investing some money to run their operations. So things are changing, and we as Africa 118 with the NORAD agency, where we are able to put some effort in terms of our website and marketing for about 2-3 years for SMEs. It's still coming up. So things are changing, and the government is doing enough to have a kind of a fair playground, as well as what we are doing as Africa 118 supporting SMEs. Okay, so
an overview of how you, from your data, so how many SMEs are in Africa, and how many so far have embraced the digital space?
There's so many. I think in our database, we have over 80% of SMEs that we are supporting. And in terms of online, we have about 40% now that have taken up the online marketing. So the data keeps on growing with time. And as you have seen so far during the COVID times, where e-commerce exploded, over 60% of active buyers, they went online.
And why is this so?
So one thing is the simplicity with e-commerce, and of course offering unique products. If you look at Jumia, Kilimall, and Jabo Shop, some of the products that you may find there is not a product that you can get maybe on your next shop at your place, or maybe at your nearest mall. One is unique products, affordability, and of course the simplicity in terms of you can be able to order a product and it's going to be delivered at your place within a click away. So all those some of the factors that have made online shopping go up, and also during COVID, where people were not much interacting, and the people are in lockdown, they are in their houses, and you need these kinds of products being delivered at your place. So all that has been able, or rather being able to come into action by the support from such factors, and as well as the online platforms, the Facebook, the Google, the Instagram, that are supported that kind of marketing, that you're able to see ads from the comfort of your bed or their seat, even before you go out and see a billboard.
Yeah, true. All right. And how many, what sectors are usually most affected by economic challenges?
The tourism sector, of course, it was a kind of affected, and the other thing is also the nature. It's seasonal. We know now for this January, maybe up to February before Valentine, the numbers has gone down in terms of bookings. So no one is traveling. People have traveled during the December, November. Again, gonna resume maybe on April. Now imagine if that is merged together with the kind of COVID hard times that we had. It was highly affected. And then, of course, the transport sector. Those are some of the categories that are highly affected by different factors, both natural and man-made.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, with many governments affected by political strife, how is the private sector bridging the gap?
Yeah, so we are entering the election period. I think from mid-Feb, things are gonna, the heat gonna go up. Yeah, exactly. And some of the stores, some of them are going maybe even to close because maybe of the fear. But we are hoping that everything will go on well. But majorly, as I've said before, the business are moving to e-commerce, and we have been having a kind of a high request for e-commerce sites rather than the static website, which explains why business want to sell online, because you find that maybe rent is too paying rent, it's a bit expensive, and if you can be able to manage your business maybe from your home, it becomes easier. Business are also working from home. We have businesses that, of course, the staffs are not reporting to office. So all that, some of the things that we can see happening, maybe as we near the elections period. But even away from that, business now want to focus on online selling, online buying.
Selling.
Yeah.
It's the safest option.
The safest option.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
affordable. Yeah.
All right. So now, judging from lessons from last year and last year but one during the pandemic, what are some of the various opportunities that SMEs can invest in this year that maybe advise us on?
Exactly. Maybe building from the previous conversation, getting to online space, and of course lowering down their operational cost. We have seen the kind of unrest the COVID brought forward, the election period as well. Just making sure they lower down the operational cost, and at the same time increase productivity. And over that, it's also having skilled labor and able to do this in unique ideas, because it's ideas that are building businesses nowadays. If you do the same thing over and over time, you're gonna not bear results. So you have to get new ventures, create new kind of platforms and other avenues to generate revenue, lower down the operational cost, and find new ways of doing businesses that are cost effective. As we move forward. So those are some of the things that can help businesses grow as we move forward.
All right. Yeah. And you've mentioned some of the achievements that you've had, but what are some of the unique wins that you can really mention that you've had since you started?
Yeah, so there are so many unique ways, strategies for businesses. Like of late, we have seen influencer marketing has picked up. Having highly influential people push your brand, take photos with your product or services. We have seen influencers having paid strips, maybe to push a tours company and all that, which is kind of growing. And if you combine that with what we are doing on the ads side, on Facebook and Google, then it lifts up your brand. So there are different kind of angles that the business can be able to take in making sure that they are pushing their brand, and of course PR, making sure that at least you are out there making noise on the media, both on blogs and both on TV.
All right. Yeah. So as we come to a close of this conversation, what advice would you give to the African SMEs, entrepreneurs out there?
Get online. Get online and start off with what is easier to do. Getting a Google business profile is free. Contact us, Africa 118. We get you a map, or we optimize your profile, Get your platforms up there, have an account on Google Ads, have an account on Facebook, Instagram, and all that, and push that content organically. You don't need any revenue to post organic posts and all that. You don't need any revenue. Start from that point and then grow as your business is growing. Then now you can start churning in some marketing budget slowly, and of course find new ways on how you can be able to narrow down your operational cost. And online is the future. Be there and make some noise.
All right, online is the future. You've said it. Where can people find you before we close?
Yeah, so if you want maybe to visit our offices, we are at Rainbow Tower, Westlands along Muiru Road, 6th floor. We are Africa 118. And then the other thing is that in terms of website, you just go to africa118.com. You're able to fill in a form, give us a call, and we're able to reach you immediately within 24 hours and, of course, help you with where you're stuck.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for your time and giving us such amazing insights. We have learned. We've come from another lesson with Victor, and now this one on the digital marketing. So we appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we've come to the end of today's show. I hope you've taken some things. That was a conversation on growth in the digital space with Bernard Muiru from Africa 118. He's the digital marketing and partnership manager. So thank you for your time. Let's meet tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Stephanie Ayeta.